Hey guys, my name is John Debelot, founder of Diaspora Freedom Initiative, and this is the Freedom Philosophy. All right, guys, so if you are not in the know, here is what is happening and what it means for your relocation. The United States and the government of Kenya have signed an MOU, which means Memorandum of Understanding, towards their nuclear power deal, right? So Kenya is building a nuclear power plant. They're also building a new international airport. They're also expanding their railway systems, right? So why does that matter? Why do you care? The reason why you care is because the interest that they pay people who have our bond ladders, right? Our bond ladders are the strategies that allow folks to move over here and never have to work again a day in their life, right? But you have to set it up right, and the interest rates that they're paying out are unsustainable. Once you buy a ladder, you're locked into that interest rate for the maturity of the ladder. So if you bought a ladder today, you would have that, interest rate being paid to you by the government for the next 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, even 25 years, depending on whatever the maturity rate was. It doesn't change. But when the bond rates go back to normal and they're not 15% anymore and 12%, 11%, 18% is the highest one that we've seen. When those percentages go back down to what bonds are in the United States, 4%, 5%, 6%, right? Then it affects your ability to live off of those bonds forever, because now the return you're getting is a third of the return that you would be receiving if you got your bond structure today, right? So because we're building a nuclear power plant, because we're building a brand new airport, because we're building a brand new infrastructure for the railway line, that means that the government still needs money, which means that it's still a relatively safe bet to go ahead and get the bond ladder going, because even though it can take 6 months to create that ladder, right, the risk is always that the bottom falls out before your 6 months is done. Now, folks who had the vision and they saw this thing 3 years ago, they were completely safe. We knew it wasn't going to go away by the time we were done with their bond ladder, but we are coming close to the end. Right now, the nuclear power plant makes us feel pretty secure that we have at least another year, where the government is going to need cash. It's better than getting an IMF loan. Obviously, you're loaning directly from the people who want to see the country grow. That's why, the infrastructure bonds are so powerful, right? And not even just infrastructure bonds, but the bond ladders are so powerful that because you're directly investing in the country that you're relocating to, right? And you're giving them the funds that they need to set up things like nuclear power, and there's marine programs happening right now on this beach where I am now that is also funded by things like that, right? So as long as we see infrastructure growing, we know that need for money is still there. And as long as they need money, then the interest rates, the payouts that they pay out to you every month for giving them that loan will stay high. And as long as that's in play, you can execute these bond strategies and have that passive income coming to you for however many years are on the maturity, and live off of that income as long as your team is setting you up right. So it's important to know these things that are going on. It's important to know that there are new highways being built. It's important to know that there's a nuclear power plant being built. It's important to know that the train system is being extended into 2 other countries, actually. It's important to know that a 3rd international airport is coming, and they already have 2. All of these things are super important to know, because then you get an understanding for, does this country need money? And if it needs money, am I going to be able to utilize its sovereign debt to be able to live free and clear really for the rest of my life, right? So when our clients come in, about 2 or 3 bond ladders ago, we had a client come in super young, 35 years old, 35 and 34 as a matter of fact. They will never have to work another day in their life. They have a 19-year bond ladder in place, almost 20 years. They're going to receive super high interest every single month for the next 19 years. And then at the end of that, they get all their money back, right? They get the principal money that they put in right back, paid to them, right? So it's just like a mortgage, or it's just like a car loan, but in reverse, right? Now you're the bank. and the government is paying you interest, and at the end of the loan, they pay you back your principal, right? It's a beautiful setup. And then obviously, you can't be a dummy over the next 20 years. You got to set yourself up so that when this is all said and done, you already have more passive income coming in. But I mean, we look at them, they already have Airbnbs set up because of the permit that they used to come here was an investor's permit. So they're legally working in Kenya. They already have Airbnb set up. They're already making additional passive income. They used to live on one of the floors of the duplexes. Now they're to the point where the Airbnb is totally being used as short-term rentals, and they've built a new house somewhere else, right? So they're already in a situation that, in 17 years, when they stop getting payments, they're already going to have all this passive income coming in, probably from real estate mostly, right? So that's what you got to do. There's a little bit of work on you to make sure that you never have to go back to work again, right? But at least the ability is there. For you to come through, execute on our strategy, and have guaranteed income. And the guarantee is from the government, right? This is not you investing in us. It's not our little investment program. This is a government program, all right? And the government pays you monthly until that term on the investment is done, and then it gives you back your principal. Right? So then you get all your money back at the end. It's a beautiful situation, especially for people who want to relocate quickly and be secure and not be sitting there trying to find online work and then expect not to be fired, by that new employer after they get that online work and live with that sort of Damocles hanging over their head. All right. So right now, that was really good news for us. That happened just about 5 or 6 days ago. You guys can go look it up. That MOU that the United States is going to cooperate with the nuclear power plant here in Kenya is huge, and it's going to make sure that at least for another year, we can continue giving out these bond ladders that can allow people to just move here and never have to work another day in their life. So we'll see you in Kenya.